You can support this show at patreon.com/ASAPodcasting. Welcome to a Skyrim Addict podcast, where I will discuss my adventures and misadventures through Skyrim. Join me. Add your stories, add your tales. Let's get into this thing. Welcome back to the finale of the Hearthfire Roundtable. I am Michael. I am with Victor.
Hello, hello.
And Colin.
Evening.
And Ray.
I do.
Now, poor Ray and I, last episode, were looking up the quest Goat Buggery. Which we have now discovered doesn't exist.
Yeah, thanks, Victor.
Sorry.
I mean, we were racking our brains.
I was like,
what in the world could this possibly be? It wasn't going to be Sanguine's quest. We knew that couldn't be it.
Yeah.
Then I was thinking that you got the goat for the Reeklings, but no, that's a boar.
Right.
Well, it just doesn't exist at all.
I mean, I did see a goat on Solstein take out a marauder.
Wow. What? Wow.
Yeah.
That's really odd you should say that, because there is an aggressive goat on Solstheim, and it attacked one of my party members.
Oh, really?
Ray, right?
Yeah, he wasn't
the regular color goat.
Yeah, mine aren't regular colored anyway. So
Oh, do you use assets? Yeah.
But it was just like this one goat. And we were, the party's walking along, and we come up, and there's a little battle going on, and all of a sudden this goat just starts pounding on this guy and ends up killing him.
Oh my god!
Because he was engaged with, with somebody else. I don't remember who was fighting, but so he wasn't paying any attention. But this goat just, beat the snot out of him. And I thought, oh, maybe that's it.
Yeah, no, that's weird, because that happened to me with the aggressive goat that I'd never noticed before. I figured I chalked it up to some mods, because I have a few, of course, and sometimes I don't know what mods add what to where. Anyway, sorry about that. I thought I had sort of mentioned that on a podcast a month ago or so about goat buggery. So,
yeah, we were like, Ray mentioned it. I'm like, oh shit, I don't remember what that was.
Yeah, no, I added that in when we first made I think it was the day we
when we were going over it. Yeah,
for this episode. Yeah.
Oh man,
goes back a ways.
Yeah, that was throwing me off.
Yeah, definitely challenged us.
Yeah, for sure. Oh man, yeah, we had a lot of quests this time. Some super long ones. A lot of Solstheim, which I really enjoyed getting back to Solstheim.
Me too.
Some great long dungeons and stuff over there, especially with especially for the Kagramez thing. You got to go through another one as well. That was tough because the ones, well, we'll talk about it when we get to it, but the ones locked in on the Dragonborn, isn't it? Or no, not Dragonborn, on the quest with what's his name at Tel Mithrin.
Yeah, but you only need 4, so
yeah,
you don't need that one, but you can go to the other Dwemer room and then get in the one there.
Yeah, and then just buy the one, but yeah. So why don't we go over our characters first? Who wants to go first with their character? Anybody?
I can go.
Okay, go.
Mine was pretty basic. I created a new character for this last episode because I couldn't get all my other ones to work. And plus I wanted to start a new character as well. He's a Dunmer. His name is Fallon Soul. And he is a researcher, and he has decided to research the House of Troubles, which is Mehrunes Dagon, not Malakath. No, it's not Mufala. It's Molag Bal, and what was the last one? I think it.
Boethia.
No, because they're the ones that the Dunmer are worshipping. The House of Troubles are the evil princes. So I'm sure I know it's Mehrunes do get going
Okay,
on.
so it's Shoggorath, Malakath,
Yeah.
and Molag Bal. Yeah, sorry, you're right. Yeah.
And what he's going to be doing is that he's feigning that he's worshipping them. So I've got E9 Cyan's mod where you religion mod, and it's the
Winter Sun.
yeah, it's the minimalist one. So that one there is when you're praying to the Daedric Prince, he burns you as you're praying. So if you don't, and it burns as in through your magicka, but if you and then your bar disappears, so you don't see, and you've got to endure it. And if you let it burn you too long, you die.
Wow.
So you have to end your prayer just at the right time, and if you end it too early, then he's bored of you. And if you leave it just between 20% and 0 or 0.1, I would say, before you get up and stop praying, he's either amused or impressed or something like that, which gains you favor.
That's cool. That's sort of the same little trick he used in Thunderchild for when you're praying to Kine there up in the to learn more words for the shouts, the extra words that he used for his anyway.
Yeah, because you have to endure the pain. And then the other half of it is that you have to destroy the shrines of his enemies. So when you come across like his enemies that are like, I think it's the gods and a few of the other Daedric princes. If you destroy their shrines and defile them in his name, that gains you favor as well. And I just destroyed Vermina's shrine.
Oh.
And he must have really hurted her because I was at like 70-something% and it jumped up to 97%. And I got a 97% favor. I prayed straight away, but I only got a little tiny increment of like 97.6 or something like that. I was trying to get over the 100 to be able to get that the boost they give you.
Yeah.
But I've just started the Pieces of the Past because I just got to level thing and got back from Solstheim. I just got the Piece of the Past quest, so once I get that done, then I'll be able to go to his shrine and hopefully get 100% favor from there, and then I'll see what that does.
Cool.
Yeah, let's see. So let me go over my character real quick. I have Reed, who's a wood elf, who I started for the last two Hearthfire things. But I'm kind of doing everything with this character, so I'm already up to like level 43. I maxed out. I just maxed out enchanting, so I could get the double enchants because I'm running vanilla, but with Creation Club stuff. And I found a pair of muffle boots that I'm going to disenchant. Spoiler alert. I just found those. So my goal right now is to get enchanting and smithing to 100 so I can do my full set of dragon armor, double enchant it and all that. So I've been using a little conjuration as well. Right now it's me, Arendor, who is like my 5th follower because everybody else has died. He is in carved Nordic armor, Nordic carved armor, as you would normally put him in. I also have a goblin named Goff, and a Dwemer steam horse.
Oh, cool!
From the Forgotten Seasons mod, or not mod, Creation Club. Oh. So it's actually pretty cool. It's very steampunky, mechanical, very Dwemer. You can see the gears moving in it as you ride it and stuff. So it's a pretty cool setup. The goblin is from another Creation Club thing that just came out. That set of Creation Club stuff that just came out. I forget which one it is. It might just be goblins or something like that. So there's just a short little quest to get him, and then you can have him as your follower. So he's like I don't know. He must not count as a follower. Must count as like a pet or something. because I have Arendor and him. So, and I'm running vanilla.
Yeah, that's the way the Reeklings are too. I believe.
Okay, is that how the I assume it's the same mechanic as the Reeklings, because basically the same thing. You know, he has a staff or a spear, or whatever it is, and I did build the house and all, but I built the 3 towers and the rest of the house as well. And I'm still in the process of furnishing it. So it's just up the hill from my main homestead, the Tundra House, which is another Creation Club thing that's just east of Whiterun. So I keep most of my supplies down there and all, but I run the stuff like the iron and things like that I need up to this house, and just keep all my other crafting stuff down there. And I'm trying to collect all the amulets so I can do all the things in the basement, all the shrines. Because you need the amulets for the shrines, right? Is that what it is? And
you also need like weird, like the Kinnereth shrine. Was it Malachite and a sapphire and things like that? They all have their different ones. Like I think one of them is ebony, and the other one is just like normal iron.
Yeah.
There's a few of them that need like pretty strange ingredients.
Yeah, they have some. Yeah, so I want to at least get all the amulets together. I forget which ones I have right now. I think I have Akatosh, Arcade, Debella, Kinnereth, Mara, and Talos. So I'm getting there slowly. You know, grabbing them as I go around, and then just leave them in my inventory so I don't forget that I have them. And I also have the Gray Cowl of Nocturnal, which was part of a Creation Club thing, a quest as well. And
just curious, was that is that a Creation Club port of the was it Train Wiz? I can't remember which mod author did a Gray Cowl, or is it the whole quest mod, or is it just the Gray Cowl itself?
There is a quest that goes along with it.
Okay,
it's a quest you do to end up getting it. I'm not sure what that has on it. This one has just sneaking is 25% better, carrying capacity 50 points, and then you see you get the detect life basically.
Right.
So that obviously doesn't include undead and machines or stuff like that. But and the guards turn hostile, which I forgot.
Oops.
It's because I was wearing it in town one day, and I'm like, why is everybody attacking me? What the hell's going on? So take it off before you go in town. But that would be a good idea. So this character I'm just trying to do everything, and obviously doing the quests we're doing. So that is where my guy is at. He's killed a lot of followers, and we're down to Arendor at this point.
Oh dear.
Did you get the? It should be fine now. Didn't you get the companion's insight from the Waking Dreams book?
Oh yeah, you're right. I did actually. Yeah, I
So
took
that's-
that one. Yeah, he'll be a lot safer now. Yeah. Yeah, that was usually what happened. That was how they generally met their demise. But right now I've been using, because it's been so long since I did the dragon stuff, I've been using the shouts actually. So I've been using Fusroda, and sometimes he gets in the way, and I'm afraid I'm going to blow him off a cliff at some point. So, I mean, there's that concern every once in a while, but
So explain because since I always play with follower mods, so what's the companion's insight from?
It keeps basically eliminates the friendly fire issue.
Oh, okay.
Where your
shouts, your destruction spells, and your melee attacks will not harm your follower. So if you swing a battle axe and you miss and you hit your follower is also in there, it won't do any damage. Destruction spells won't do any damage, and they're immune to shouts as well. So if you Fusroda them straight out, it just passes through them.
And you get that from which?
From the one that we done, one where you went down to get Zerkosis.
The
black book that you get to.
Where you get the Blood Guard blade, you go and you get there.
Okay,
You read the black book, you kill the lurker, and then that's one of the 3 choices.
I guess I've never chosen that. Okay.
Yeah, to me, it's like the only the other two choices, I forget what they are, but
One of them is that when you read a skill book, you get an extra skill point.
yeah, that's right. You get a second skill point. Yeah,
And the other one was I think Lover's Insight,
yeah.
which is 10% more damage to the opposite sex and better prices when bartering.
I think I always take the skill book one then, because that's okay.
I usually don't, because usually by the time I get there, I've already mostly exhausted the skill books. Because there's only there's only so many of them.
Right. Yeah.
That I feel like it's not as useful as not killing my follower.
Yeah.
I don't, because I'm a teacher's pet, so I do all the hard work.
Yeah, so he's been a lot safer these days since Blood Skull.
Cool.
Which I kind of randomly started accidentally, but worked out well. Yep. So that's what Reed is up to. Just doing everything. I'm still a werewolf. I haven't really worked on leveling that up yet, but I'll be doing that now that we're done finishing up the roundtable.
Yeah.
Victor, how's your?
Okay, I'll go. I'll try to be as brief as possible. I also started a new character for these last two episodes, and so since I've been experimenting a lot with new and sort of trimmed down mod lists, which was inspired by Centaur's 30 mod thing, which we talked about during the fundraiser. My version of it expanded up to about 100 mods, but that's normal. But honestly, I think I've
so a half rack.
Yeah, half rack. Yeah. So yeah, I'm usually up around 300. But I really, honestly, just as an aside, I think I've got one of the nicest looking Skyrims I think I've ever had, and that's thanks to a lot of really nice new texture and lighting mods that are really helping ENB look good in Skyrim SE. So I've been playing SE a lot lately, a lot more than Legacy. So so I created this guy as part of the experiment. So I was using my Lars Morrison character a lot for the Hearthfire, and so I created this guy, and I called him Vichan Morrison, Weichan, sort of a play on my nickname, and I just did an alternate start, and it just happened that he started on Solstheim, and so normally when I get an alt start on Solstheim, I'll either restart or I'll get away from Solstheim as quickly as possible. But inspired by some stuff that Colin was talking about in one of the last roundtables, I thought, well, I'm going to stay here and just do this, So and thanks to another couple of mods, and I don't know where there's a Mithril mine on Solstheim.
Oh, cool.
This game. So, all right. So, long story short about Solstheim, I took Vichan, and one of the first things we did was the Blood Skull Barrow quest. So he grabbed the Blood Skull blade after a lot, because he was under level 10 at that point, so it was relatively difficult. And he's actually been using that ever since. I've now smithed it up to about a damage of 60 plus somewhere. And then he went and mined a bunch of mithril, and we've been able to. He's now up to he's about just missed level 36, so I couldn't do Deathbrand for this episode. But anyway, he spent a lot of time on Solstheim doing several of the quests and leveling up and becoming effectively Thane or whatever. He took over Severn Manor, and then he moved from there. He grabbed Teldrin Sero, who I adore as a follower, and immediately dressed him in other stuff, because his face, he's got these facial tattoos. If you've ever used them and taken off his armor, he's got a great look, and he's got a lot of really unique lines too. Some of them might be put in there from RDO, but some of them are, I think, original as well. So he was my first follower. And we traveled to Skyrim after a while, and one of the first things I did there was to go to Dawnstar and do the Vermina quest and grab Arander, because he's one of my favorites. So I had Arander and Teldrin for quite a long time, and we did a bunch of stuff. So we built the house, and and I started Dragonborn, or started the main quest so that I could do the Dragonborn quest. So he's not really going to be much of a shout user. He's not. I have plans for him, but I kind of role played him to be he's a cousin of Lars, and he just ended up in Souls Time somehow. I don't really care about that part of the backstory, but when he met Arander, he had so much respect for Arander that he converted to be a worshiper of Mara, and he hadn't even taken a standing stone at that point. So I did the whole Mara quest thing, and with Winter Sun became a follower of Mara, which in Winter Sun requires you to give to the poor as much as possible, get married, get lover's comfort, and I think adopting children is part of that mix, but I have a problem with that for some strange reason in Hearthfire. And so now I think I have I have about 156% favor with Mara right now. And her boons are mostly passive. They're just healing your followers as their health gets lower. They passively heal as in battle and stuff. And Vikan took the Atronach stone, which is great for a two-handed wielder, which he is. He's two-handed and archery when he needs it, and an alchemist, which is, of course, alchemy is, I think everybody knows, my favorite crafting. So so that works out well. You don't, in Andromeda, I've forgotten how the Atronach stone, is it the Atronach stone? Yeah, works in vanilla, but in Andromeda you don't regenerate stamina, but you can still do power attacks without stamina for a 30% loss in power. So it gives you a good, and of course you can, just pound down the stamina potions if you want to. So he's done all of that. He's started Lost to the Ages. He's done a bunch of stuff. So the only quests that we haven't done for this have been so far Deathbrand and this damn Crimson Root thing.
Oh, the Crimson Nerd. Yeah, that's a hard one.
Pain in the ass. So I just didn't feel for Vikan anyway that his character would bother with anything to do with mages, and so we left that alone. And so my plan right now, at least going forward after this, I think that he's spent enough time on Solstheim, and he really loves Solstheim. He's built the house, but he keeps coming back. And right now, his latest thing is he's really started moving forward in the Dragonborn quest line, and has met Storn, and has also been extremely impressed with Storn. So he may convert to the Allmaker at this point and really sort of dig into his ancient Nord roots. I haven't really decided how we're going to do that yet, but Winter Sun has some interesting bonuses for following the Allmaker or following the old ways. Either one. There's two options there. The old ways in Winter Sun give you some buffs to shouts, which are kind of cool. So that's where Vikan is right now. So.
Cool.
Awesome.
Listen, I feel kind of weird because Margarita is my original Roundtable character.
Wow, that's good.
Best. It's even better.
So she just yesterday when I was playing past level 52.
Wow.
And so
wait a minute, we've been doing this for a year and you're only at level 52.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I'm at level 43 for this one character. That's
Well, yeah, she's been so I skipped a lot of non-essential stuff. I never did the dragons. I hadn't done I'd only done the Dark Brotherhood. Never did any Thieves Guild or Mages College or any of that kind of stuff. And so she's just been making an absolute crap ton of cash. So I've about halfway through, I ended up getting the Ethereum crown. And so she had the Tower Stone, which was her assigned stone, and then also the Lever Stone, which comes in really handy because I don't really do a lot of followers. And so she's in a lot of situations by herself, which she's gotten back to level 100 in Legendary Sneak.
Oh, wow. Back to 100 again.
Yeah, I didn't have the guts to go Legendary on Illusion Magic because that's her, that's kind of her saving grace in a lot of situations, is being able to, to cast quietly and also go invisible. So I'm 100 in Illusion, but have not gone Legendary on that. But with the Ethereum Crown and the Andromeda Standing Stones, I also took the Lever Stone, which it's great because you get to come back to life essentially once a day. And I haven't been able to find any way to adjust this. And it's great if you take this at the very beginning of your playthrough, especially if you're doing enchanting, because you get a gift from an admirer, which is a legendary or it's a weapon with enchantment on it. But I've got every weapon rack in every house and every chest and every follower. And I just cannot get rid of enough enchanted shit.
Oh man.
I'll be going through a dungeon and then sure enough, I'll get 2 or 3 pieces and I'm over encumbered. And I got nowhere to stash it. I'm just dropping all this enchanted, weapons and armor all over the place just because I've got no use for it. And so it would be nice. I think probably get, a piece every hour, maybe less. I mean, it's just crazy how much you get.
Wow.
Which at the beginning is fantastic because you just, if you're doing enchanting, you just enchant the stuff, as soon as you get it, and your enchantment's going up like crazy.
Yeah.
But she's doing no alchemy and no enchantment, so it's more of a burden.
I love those no crafting playthroughs. You have such a sense of freedom, but
yeah,
when you get into a serious fight, you're like, oh fuck, because you got to rely you're running out of potions left, right, and center, and but it's fun not to have to pick up because the one I'm doing now again, I'm doing alchemy again, even taking perks in it. So, but that's because he's a mage. He's all destruction mage, so he needs lots of magic emotions.
But she's she's a lot of fun to play. So she's sneak, illusion, and heavy armor. So it's fun. She's creeping around these dungeons and standing right behind a Draugr and dressed in this massive Daedric armor, with a glowing red.
Oh man.
And it's like, yeah, you can't see me.
Yeah, that's one of those fun things in Skyrim. That's just great. By the way, I should have. It's not the Atronach; it's the Lord Stone that I. So that's why I'm thinking. Yeah, the Atronach doesn't sound right. Anyway, the Lord Stone is the.
The Lord Stone.
Andromeda.
Yeah, and because I started so late. I just started Dragons last episode, and also ended up picking up Lydia in the process. So I've been toting Lydia and Riekling around. just for the fun of it. But
I was so sad the other day. I ran into Dragon's Reach to do some disenchanting with Janessa, and I came out. And as I came out, Lydia was like standing there at the end of the table, looking over us. I was like, "Oh!" I was
Oh,
like sprinted out of Dragon's Reach.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Be back.
But so I also started doing the Dragonborn quest, and so I went into to start getting the dragon aspect shouts, and I don't have any souls.
Oh God. Oh.
And so because I killed one dragon.
Oh.
It gets worse.
Yeah, it does.
And so then I go, okay, well, so I, run, grab the horn of Jurgen and meet up with Delphine, and we, fight Solicanir or whatever his name is. Okay, so now dragons are starting to pop up, but then as soon as I did that, I'm bumping into Mirak, and he's stealing all my damn dragon souls.
Oh God!
Yeah. That's why you got to make sure you have one in reserve before you go for Bend Will, or you're screwed.
Yeah. So so I can't get any further in his quest because I can't do Ben Will on that dragon, and I can't get any dragon souls because he steals them all from me.
Oh Jesus! Oh.
So and so now I'm back. I downloaded a couple of new house mods, and so I was building this one in Falkreath, which is really involved building. And
build your noble house.
Yes,
yeah, I love that. That's great.
Everything takes 100 firewood.
Yeah.
You
just got to make the carpenter. Get the carpenter. He's got all.
Well, yeah, but you have to build the fence and the guard towers before you can get the carpenter.
That's right.
And the log cutter and the blacksmith and the hunter and and everything to be able to get all your supplies. But so I'm constantly getting attacked by dragons, and so I've got to go. I've burned through almost all of my arrows, working on these dragons, and then not a damn soul to my name.
Oh no!
So yeah, it's been pretty crazy, but she started out on
leaping spears.
She started out on Solstein originally, and I didn't restart because it worked out because she was going to be heavy armor, and so I knew I could go get a set of the chitin armor. From the very beginning, and then I just let the guards and everybody do all the work on the ash bonds. And so then collected all their, their goodies and built up my heavy armor skills.
Yeah, there's a nice spot there when you start on Solstheim, if you know where there's that sort of dead gold miner, and you can go in there and grab some of his gold and mine a couple
and
of
a bunch of gems.
Yeah, and go sell them, and you can get yourself a nice little honeypot to start with.
Yeah. I was able to make enough. And also when you go into the mine to get the Nordic pickaxe, there's all kinds of stuff that you can take in there that's not stealing.
Yep.
And then sell that to the blacksmith. So she was able to raise enough money to get over to Skyrim. So she's got 5 houses in Skyrim, and then Severn Manor and Ravenrock.
Nice. Yeah, we just have Heljarken and Severn Manor. So I'm thinking of trying to find a nice skull house. I know there's one house mod that puts a house down on the coast just below the skull village.
Oh, nice.
there's one that does one in the Skull Village. So
Yeah.
if Vikon converts to Skaldom, then maybe I'll look for that. He's, by the way, I did send Teldrin home eventually, and because we did the Mara quests and spent some time in Riften and met Mjol and Vikon, who's married to Isolde, by the way, was also very impressed with Mjol. So he sent Teldrin home and took on Mjol as a follower. And thank goodness when you have her, just at least when you have her as a follower, Aaron doesn't hang around. He only hangs around if you marry Mjol. So.
Oh, okay.
And she was. She's making about $3,000 a day between the mine and the farm.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You have the mine and the farm. Yeah.
I tried to add the farm mid playthrough, and that caused me no end of trouble in this. So I had to go back a little bit and remove that, and that's been good. But just recently, something polluted a couple of my saves, and I because I was just about to start the quest for the next Black Book with Neloth, which goes to, I forget the name of the Dwarven ruin that's right to the north of Tel
Nechardak.
Nechardak, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And started crashing, sort of random crashes, and just CTDs, just right, boom, done. So I've gone back a couple of saves now to see if I can recreate and figure out what's causing that. But Mjol is with us now and in Soul's Time. Teldrin Sero, by the way, I don't know if this is, I thought this was a bug, but I don't think it is, because he originates on Soul's Time. If you're using convenient horses, the SE version of convenient horses, which by the way I think is actually a lot better than the LE version, because it makes you buy horses for your followers.
Oh, okay.
But he won't. The option to buy a horse will not appear in Teldrin's. It could be a conflict with convenient horses in EFF, which I'm using. I'm not sure, but he won't buy a horse. So I had Miranda and I were riding a horse and riding very slowly so that Teldrin could keep up with us.
Yeah. Was I had Boilag or Bolag or something like that. He was a follower from the Bruma mod.
Oh, nice.
And then it allowed me to buy him a horse. So it could just be Teldrin.
Yeah, I think it's because there's no horses on Soul's Time. It may be that it's just not in his character profile, as it were. I don't honestly know. I'm about to convert over to. I've been watching some of Mr. B's. Mr. B has been doing a lot of streaming lately, and it's a lot of it's really good because he spends a lot of time messing around with mods and Xedit and stuff like that. And he's using a follower mod that I haven't tried yet called I think it's Nether's follower framework, which actually looks pretty darn good, and it's recently updated. So I mean, I'm going to convert over to that and see if it works better than EFF.
See if it's better.
Yeah. So.
Am I mean because I make the little Reekling run behind me when I'm on Shadowmere?
They deserve it, those little fuckers.
Poor thing has to run like 5 times, 5 times as many steps as the horse.
I would have gladly brought a pig back over with me, but
it doesn't give you that option.
Nope.
Yeah.
I think I had him for like 5 minutes. Running to get the skull for Karstag, but I just couldn't deal with the breathing.
Yes.
Like you're walking around the town with a pervert all the time, and one's enough.
It's like having a wolf follower. Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
Well, and you don't even just get one. I mean, so many times, all of a sudden, there'll be 3 or 4 other ones pop up.
Yeah. Your tribe kin come and supporting you in a fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, you speaking about Teldrin's outfit, I put Janassa in exactly the same outfit, helmet and all.
Oh yeah. Okay. So they're both in their little chitin armor.
Well, I haven't got Teldrin. I've got Aranda,
Okay.
but I got her a full set of chitin armor.
Yeah.
Apart from her bracers, because I found a pair of scale bracers with like 25 one-handed or something like that.
Oh, nice.
And she's one of the only few dual wielders, so she's like doing massive amounts of damage.
Yeah, she and Mjol. That's why I grabbed Mjol. I went and got Grimsever and then made Mjol a follower.
I
No,
got
sorry,
a
dual wielder, not two-handed.
Oh, okay.
Oh, dual. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I have to enchant Arendor's stuff now that he's around for a while. But that's the one thing I haven't done. I just gave him basic armor to keep him alive at this point.
Yeah, I put all my followers up in the 400 plus armor rating, so they're doing pretty well with Smith armor.
Yeah.
As far as I know, without mods, the only enchants that take to followers are the resist ones. So
Yeah, the resist
fire.
Yeah.
So they're the only ones that really work, and I think it's the more damage ones, the ones that I've put on. But all the like health regeneration and
That doesn't work. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that any of that works,
Yeah.
or magical regeneration or anything like that.
Right. Yeah. I gave Arander, is it Melka's staff that you get when you do that little
Oh yeah, you get
Flying Cliff Cave
Mhm.
quest there, yeah. And boy, does he loves to use that thing. That's a nasty fireball too.
Yeah, I gave him a paralyzed staff, and then he has the blood skull blade right now.
I love that blade. I am having a great time. That's been my only weapon aside from a bow through this entire playthrough. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've been concentrating on heavy armor and two-handed,
Yeah.
and a little bit of archery, and of course for me alchemy, and that's about it. You know, a little bit of smithing, but no sneak, no block. So it's been fun.
Yeah, I'm actually like a destruction mage, but I've been wearing armor. So I've got heavy armor gauntlets, steel ones, and I found they have alchemy on it, and haven't taken them off since I got them. And a pair of hide boots with resist frost on them. And I've just got Zercrosis from doing the blood skull thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the face mask. That's heavy armor, and that's the 50% resistance to shock and 25 more damage with shock. He's mainly a shock mage.
Yeah.
But I put perks into, because I had like loads of perks. I'm putting perks in alchemy, alteration, and destruction. And I've got like 5 perks currently sitting there. He's like level 25 or something like that. No, I'm using Valkyrie.
Yeah, I used Valkyrie for once. It was good, but it was a little too close to vanilla for my taste. And actually, Enai Cheyenne has kind of abandoned it for that very reason. If you follow his Patreon, but he's working on one called Growl now, which I think is a werewolf mod, which sounds like fun. There's a couple of really, really excellent, aside from the OP nature of Experimenter, where you get all 4 at level 30 in Ordinator. Mm-hmm. There's a couple of other really good perks in there where you get it's farther up the right-hand side of the tree, where you get multiple uses out of a poisoned weapon or arrow, depending on your level of alchemy. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. That's great to have.
Yeah, the one I like, I think it's in. There's a great one that's coming up at level 60, and that is, I forgot about duration. So the duration of potions and food that you imbibe lasts twice as long.
Oh,
and
nice.
There's 2 stages of that, and then the other one to the left of that is stimulants, and it increases your regeneration for magicka, health, and stamina if you currently are under the effects of a potion or an ingredient. So all I do is just eat like a bit of was it tundra cotton or something like that?
Oh,
Just
okay.
eat that ingredient, and that gives you like resist magic for 60 seconds
Oh wow.
or 30 seconds or something like that. But then it also boosts all your regeneration just by 2%. But it's a little, every little helps. Sort of like when you get your magical regeneration, because that's what I like in the potions. I'm doing all needs a lot of garlic. So
yeah, my favorite potion is lingering damage health. Just make really really powerful. And if you add, I think Death Bell to it, there's one or two ingredients you can add to that, and you'll get, if you're leveling up, you'll get 15 points per second for X number of seconds plus 65 damage, and you can pretty much kill some very powerful enemies with a couple of those, especially if you have the other perk that adds, multiple uses to a weapon or an arrow. So it does get a little OP after a while.
yeah, I'm doing my usual sort of like changing all the enemies up. So I've got Skyrim immersive creatures, revenge of the enemies, and higher level enemies with patching and everything like that. So what was was it Kagramez? The last one I was going through, and I was like, I blasted a guy with a shock spell with like lightning bolt or something like that. So and so resisted lightning bolt. All right, firebolt. So and so resisted firebolt. You motherfucker! So I had to just make him. Luckily, on the last one, I think it must be broken because the back door is open. So I just ran out the back door and made him follow me, and then took out the blood skull blade. He's like a weed. He's got a pair of wet noodles. That's his arms. And he's there with the blood skull blade. He can only get one power attack. That's it before all his stamina is gone. Yeah. So he was there like a wet noodle. Wham! Run around.
That's great. So because I'm using immersive creatures and higher level enemies, but I haven't added Revenge of the Enemies in yet. So those all work well together. I wasn't sure about Revenge of the Enemies with higher level enemies.
No, everything works well. There's
I like all the extra Dwemer stuff you get out of higher level enemies. That's just really cool.
I did because I'm not sure which one it adds, because higher level enemies adds in extra enemies. So there'll be like you go to like a Dwemer ruin or something like that, and then you'll get through the Centurion, and then you go through another room, and then there'll be another boss in there that you have to fight, things like that. Revenge of the Enemies like gives you more powerful enemies to face. So, and was it all your Draugr have shouts? So like even just like the first level Draugr will have like a frost shout, and that's a pain in the ass because I've got resist fire up the wazoo, but no resist frost, and that's what all the Draugr do. So that's why the only two pieces of enchanted gear resist I have is the boots, which is resist frost, and I think it's a ring. No, it's not a ring. It's a necklace of resist frost as well.
Now, Margaretha, when she built the Lakewood Manor, she was doing the Dark Brotherhood quests, and discovered that through, with the tax loophole, she was able to save some money by adopting Francois Buffot. And he's the luckiest kid in the world because, she feels guilty because she's an absentee mom. And so every time we go back to Lakewood Manor, he always gets 100 gold.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah, I think I gave one of the kids once. They come up, "Oh, do you have a present for me?" I was like, "Yeah." And usually it's like a doll that you find or a sweet roll or something like that. One time it was an ebony dagger. Ooh. Sure, here, ebony dagger. I was like, "Really? I can have this?" That was it. They were gone. I didn't see him for probably didn't see him at all after that.
Yeah. You also don't see any rabbits around the house anymore either.
My two daughters comment on my Elytra pets that I have at the house from the it was one of the mods, I forget. It was one of the newer ones. But it kind of brings some Shivering Isles stuff into it. So I have 2 Elytra, and they're weird looking. So they're like, "Dad, your pet's scary." I'm like, "Well, yeah, maybe." They just kind of hang out in the house, and I can summon them though, and just have them appear. But I haven't done it yet because I don't know if it'll mess up my goblin follower. Because I don't know how it works, how that counts. If it counts if he's a pet or if they count as pets, or I'm not sure. So
They count as they could count as summons.
yeah, I'm not sure how they count them. Yeah. All right. Do we want to go over some of the quests?
Sure.
All right. Do we want to do Rise in the East?
It's the first one I did. I think it was like level 8 when I went through this.
I should have done this one before I hopped over to Solstheim. Do you remember the walkthrough of it?
Yeah,
Okay. Do you want to do that then?
sure.
Because I'll end up just reading the UESP because I haven't played through it recently. All right.
So Rise in the East starts off in Windhelm. I don't think there's any way to get directed to there. I think it's just that if you explore and wander around and go into like certain doors, that you can walk into it. So I walked into the East Empire Company warehouse, I think it was, and there's an Imperial in there. Orthos, I think. And he was saying that business is really bad because the ships keep on getting attacked by pirates. But it's weird because the Shatter Shields, their ships don't get attacked. So there's something weird going on. However, everybody else's ships get attacked, but not the Shatter Shield. So he says their offices are next door and it's looked after by this Dunmer woman. She has a diary, if you can like get information off her or find a diary, bring it to me. I'll pay you money for it.
Mm-hmm.
So as I said, I don't really do any sneaking. But when I went in and followed her in. So when she goes into work, you can go in there and talk to her, so you don't have to break in or anything like that while she's there at work. You can say. So I just hung around until she finished work, and then she left. And then I stayed in there and went around, and then her diary was there in the back room. Grabbed that, bring that to him, and then he says, "Oh, it turns out that she's working this deal with these pirates in Dawnstar. So if you go to Dawnstar, speak to those if they can give us a clue about where these where the pirates are based, so the East Empire can go and take them out." So you go to Dawnstar, and then there's some pirates there. Salt Sage, is it? Maybe.
Stig Salt Plank.
Salt Plank.
Salt Plank, yeah.
And they said something really crude to one of the women, so I killed them all and took the information. You can talk it out of him, but it's something about his mouth or something like that, or something about her mouth. So I just killed them all, and nobody attacks you. No, you don't get a bounty or anything like that. It must be because they're pirates and because he insulted the lady. So
they're a bandit faction or something.
Yeah. So I took I took the thing, and it says that they're on Jaffet's Folly or
Yes, Jaffet's Folly.
Yeah.
And they're led by some guy, and I can't remember. It begins with a H.
Halden. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's a battle mage or something like that. When you go back, there's this really impressive lady in Imperial heavy armor. And she's saying that luckily Orthon or Orthos employed somebody that can get something done, and she asks you to go with them to attack Jaffet's Folly and try and sort of wipe out all the pirates. So you go outside. There's a ship there with a Imperial soldier at it. you jump on there, you're ready to go. You can leave it away. Once you get there, she asks you to go in and take care of this because he's using magic to create this fog all around the island, and they can't get in there properly. If you run across the ice fields, you can go up through the front, but there's a little cave on the opposite side of the boat, and you can go in through the cave, through past all the the mud crabs, and get inside the keep, kill a few of the bandits in there, and then kill Holland, who's got a really nice sword, by the way, when you have Legacy of the Dragonborn installed. And that was a lot of running around for me. Hit him, run away.
It's a tough battle.
Yeah, but because he's two-handed, you have the time where you have to wait for the swing. So just wait for him to give a good old swing, and then you run in. And because I was using the Thunderbolt spell, which is you have to get right up close in people's face, and it's like a loud explosion of a spell, spark spell, but you have to be right in melee range for it to do the most damage. So I'd run in, do that, and then run away from him. Luckily, he was in heavy armor, so he's nice and slow. But then when I came back outside, there was all the pirates, and they're being bombed from the ships.
Yeah.
And when you get down to the bottom, there's about 3 or 4 of them, and they're all surrounding the lady. I can't remember. Is it Cassia?
No, it's Adelaisa Vendici, I think is her name. Something like that. She's in Imperial armor.
Yeah, and they were all attacking her, but she was just waiting for you to come and speak to her to say it's all over. But obviously, you can't speak to her while it's in combat, so you have to kill everything around her first, and then speak to her, which is a pain because some of them fell in the water.
And I have never done this before, and so I saw the keep, and so I just went through and killed all the pirates that were sitting around outside, and got up to the front door, and even with the tower key, I couldn't get in. I'm like, well, crap. How the hell do you get in this place? And so I went all the way around. Of course, so I started from the left and went all the way around. And it was right back where I started, where I actually got attacked my first guy.
So you started at 7 o'clock, and it was at 6 o'clock. Yeah,
it's this perfect little hole in the side of the rocks. Like, oh shit. So, but fortunately, I just snuck through, and at this point, I was only doing about 25 times damage on my double dagger power attack. So, he went down with one whack.
Yeah, we died a lot on that. The second half of that battle, once you killed Halden and you go out there and all those fire bombs that are coming in.
That's rough when you're running out. Yeah,
it's really nasty. And Adelaisa is she's relatively weak, at least where the level I was at. I don't remember where we were, but I think I had Teldrin and Arander with me. But it was a tough battle, and like Colin said, they half of them fall into the water, and then you got to chase them around and kill them in the water, or shoot arrows at them, or whatever.
Well, see, and then the fortuitous thing for me was I'd already killed everybody.
Yeah. See, that was
so I came walking out, and there's these bombs going off. I'm like, okay, well, I'll just I'll just go down here. There was one guy, attacking Andalusia.
Yeah.
And so took him out, and it was done.
But you can actually, I think you can trigger I believe I did in this playthrough, you can trigger the quest in solitude as well. If you talk to a guard or somebody in the East Empire, they'll tell you, they'll mention something that points you to Windhelm.
I think, because I think I got confused once with it, because I remember getting the quest and I was looking all over Solitude for the
right. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I got confused about that once before.
Yeah,
I think you're right. But you can also find Japhet as well inside the keep. So he's the old ancient Nord in there, and you find his diary. I can't remember.
Oh yeah, isn't it like in
Uh,
a side room or something?
Yeah, so Escape Jeff, it's Folly. What else was this? Can't remember. You can kill Halden, and yeah, there we go. You can pick up a couple of potions. The remains, the remains of Jaffet can be found behind a locked door next to the locked boss level chest, and
Oh.
an explanatory journal. And a small band that was expected joined the departing to Dawnstar. Apparently, the local word is that the island is unfit for any sort of habitation, owing to spirits and ill-favored weather. And no matter more space, a loyal few, including the Citadel, may prove to be time-consuming. It's not that long, but it's long enough that we can ignore it. But yeah, it's just like a little note on Jaffetism, so where he's all trapped inside there and he's going to die.
Yeah, and later on, I also didn't realize that Adelaisa will offer to be a follower
Yes.
after the whole thing's over. So
Yep.
I haven't tried her out yet.
I don't think I've ever used her as a follower either.
Mm-mm.
I just
I
wish
had
you
her
could
for
go
a
back.
little bit.
Oh, you had her for a little bit?
Yeah, I literally because I was using that as a headcanon thing to after I've done that quest,
Mhm.
they gave me a lift over to Solstein.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
But I brought her over, and then there was this, because that's the worst thing, as Ray was saying earlier. So not only is you got to get the dragons, and then you don't have any shouts, and then he steals your shouts. But then there's also the fucking sleeping thing where you go to sleep, and that's it. You're on the other fucking side of the
Oh,
island.
you end up at the stupid stone. Yeah.
I just stopped sleeping. I was just wait.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
And
Good
I was
point.
like, and I just got there and I was like, no. And I just ran back. And that's when I went back and I started up the dragons, because I was just wandering around aimlessly for the first, the first 8 levels, because I went over there level 8 or level 9, I think. And it just done me. I was like, no. And I just went back in a couple of saves just when I arrived there, and then turned around and had to pay the boat guy again to bring me back over again to Skyrim. And then I started up the dragons and ran around there for a while and got back up to level probably about 15, 16, and then went over to Solstheim and had a lot more fun. I had more of a direction following with the Dragon Quest.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, so I got 1,500 septums as a reward for this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a pretty good reward.
Yeah.
In general.
But during the time it took me to do that, I made 4,300 gold at Halyarkin and 9 grand at Winstead.
Oh, God. All right. Let's see. Well, I guess we could go over the Crimson Nirnroot quest, because I'm sure nobody completed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't get the.
I think I've only actually completed it once, to be honest.
Yep. Same here.
Yeah.
So essentially, it's when you're down in Blackreach, you find, what is it, Sindarin? Is that his name? Sindarian, who is a character in Oblivion and Skingrad. His laboratory is in Blackreach. I think generally the first time you enter, it's right in front of you if you come in that particular entrance.
Yeah.
You go in there and you read his journal, and it tells you about the Crimson Nirnroot, and there's 30 of them in.
Well, you need to collect 30.
Need to collect 30, and they're all in Blackreach.
Yeah.
So you need to run all around Blackreach and find them. And honestly, if you don't have a map of where they are, you're going to be down there a long time looking for Crimson Nirnroots.
Yeah.
I've done it. Any character that I've done alchemy with, and I've ended up down in Blackreach, either doing just Dawnguard or the dragons and Dawnguard. I've always done it. I like doing that quest, and they're not particularly that hard to find when you go into those areas to sort of open up the lifts, going to get loot, stuff like that. You can run across them and they're pretty easy to find with the noise that they make.
No, that's true. You can't hear them as you get close.
And there's about, I think there's about 40 in there total.
Is there?
I think so. There's about 40 total. I know there's a good bit. There's a few more than, it's not like 30 or 32 or something like that. There's about 40 across the entire thing, I think.
According to USP, there's 44 of them.
Ah, there we go. 44 of them. Well, that does make it easier if you're searching for.
Unless you're using a mod like I do, which shuts up the freaking Nern route.
And then you can't find them. Yeah.
It's hard to find. Yeah.
So now, is there a way to get into Blackreach outside of the Dawnguard questline?
Dawnguard and Dragons. You should be able to go and speak to Nutty McBatshit.
Septimus Cygnus.
Out on the ice.
Yeah.
And he has got the quest for his own quest to send you down there. I don't know whether you need the dragons to be able to facilitate opening up that quest or not.
That's a good question.
Yeah, because I think the only way I've ever done that before has been through Dawnguard.
Yeah, because you also need the dragon scroll as well for doing Dawnguard. You need all three for that one.
Yeah. So that's why you have to go down. That's a good point. Yeah, I don't know if there's another way in.
There isn't.
There's three. There's Alftan, Zinshaleft, and Raldthar, but Alftan is the one where you come out directly across from Sindarian's lab.
Yeah.
And Zinshaleft is the one where you usually go out. That's the big lift.
That's where you usually exit, correct?
Yeah.
And that isn't opened until.
But you can open it, but you need to go to Cygnus
to be able to get all the way in, right?
Yeah,
Right.
to get the little ball thing.
Yeah,
You can get to the
orb.
Yeah, you can get to the spot. Zinshaleft is where you get Grimsever, so you can get to the spot where you would go down to Blackreach, but you can't go down unless you have the
sphere.
Yeah, the sphere or whatever.
The
The
ball.
lexicon, something or other.
Yeah, so I'm not going to do that this time.
no, it's
Yeah,
like
I didn't either.
Yeah. It is good if you're doing alchemy, though.
Yeah, it's but it's you get a chance of creating 2 potions. Was it Sindarian's Serendipity or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
And every once in a while you'll create 2 potions from from a set of ingredients, which is helpful when you're creating like invisibility potions or something very
Oh,
specific.
for sure, yeah. Yeah, if you're doing something like actually making potions for use, it's definitely helpful. It's like if you're just like bulk making them to sell or whatever, up your alchemy, then it becomes a little less useful. But yeah, like you said, if you're ones you're using.
Well, it's also cool if you're kind of grinding, high end, potions like hanging moss and blue mountain flower, which is useless because it's got opposing. But it's very valuable. So if you collect a bunch of that stuff and just whack, R with that little buff, you'll probably make at least 25% more of them, right? So you make a lot of money at it. I've never honestly used it though, so it's one of those things. It's like.
But you also get a nice book as well, though. You get Sindarian's.
Yeah.
You get his book. It's compendium type thing. It's really good.
But then you also go meet.
That's where you get it from. Sorry, Avrusa Serethi.
Yeah.
And she's got the Nern Root farm in.
She has the Nern. Yeah.
With the wild.
So that book's a lot like the Fallout 76 Super Duper perk, where you get a percent chance to double your results.
Doesn't she have a quest with her sister too, or something like that?
No, she has a collect Jazzbay grapes.
That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
But Jazzbay grapes are fucking awesome, so she's not having any of them.
Yeah.
She needs them to grow does she need them to grow the Nern root or something like that?
Yeah, to make the soil acidic
Yeah,
or something like that,
right.
or stop it from being acidic or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. I think I'm going to actually have that quest on my thing, yeah. Because I keep getting the reminder every time I grab the grapes.
It's like those was it fire salts for Balam?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I got that on there too.
You
Yeah.
got one.
Yeah.
No, you lost it. You just put it back in the pouch. No, you took it out again. No, you put it back in the
Every time I go, because I put all my ingredients in a cabinet right under the alchemy table in the house.
Yeah.
And then every time I take everything out, it's like 15 things pop up that I'm supposed to be given to people, and I'm like, well, no. They'll get their stuff when I get to 100.
I just get the impression of after going through that, the character just walked up to Balam and it just goes, "Here's your fucking fire salt, you bastard!"
Just take back your note.
Yeah, was it? I think I had that quest, Medesi's quest, and Ingen Blackbriar quest, and she wants, was it Nirnroot's, Death Bells, and Nightshade. Yeah, that's not suspicious concoction.
Oh my god, yeah. All right, so we have, well, the two run into each other. So we had the one where we have to, when you first get to Solstheim, where you have to get the Ancient Nord pickaxe for, oh god, what the hell is his name? The blacksmith in Solstheim.
He's Glover Mal. He's
that's right. Yeah,
Glover's brother.
Yeah.
Or he is Glover, and he's who's the? I don't remember. Yeah, one of their brothers. Yeah,
he's one of the Mallory brothers, right? Yeah. So he says that what the heck's his name? Is it Crescius or something like that?
Crescius, yeah.
Crescius, yeah.
Corellius, he's an Imperial, yeah. He's one of the last Imperials on Solstheim. Right?
Yeah. So he's taken the ancient Nordic pickaxe and he wants it back. So you go to the East Empire mine. Is it a mine? Yeah, I think he's kind of living in a mine at that point. And he's arguing with his daughter.
His wife.
Oh, is that his wife?
Yeah, that's his wife.
God, why have I always read that as his daughter? That's weird.
It's pretty hard. She's also a Dunmer as well.
Yeah. All right.
So she looks really young.
Yeah.
It's pretty dark in there.
I've always thought it was his daughter for some reason. I don't know why.
He married late.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought that. Yeah. But anyway, he tells you about the conspiracy that he believes had happened.
To his ancestor?
Yeah, was grandfather, was it?
Yeah.
And that can you find evidence in the depths of the mine, basically. And that's also where this is where we first kind of run into the new spiders, the Solstheim spiders.
Yes.
In general, it'll be the first time you run into them, unless you go do something else first. But in general, this is kind of the way they introduced them when it first came out, how you first come along with it. But and then there was wasn't there some puzzle also? That's the Blood Skull blood yeah, which is very much a pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy, but
it's a huge pain.
Yeah. If
you don't know how to do side
swinging,
side power attacks,
yeah.
It's really I remember the first time I went through this, and when you get to the after you go through that whole part, and you get to the Blood Skull blade part, you hop down, you find a blade, and there's the door with the archway over it, and the things are lit up red. I was like, well, how the hell do I open this? Like, I had no idea. But yeah, if you swing left to right or up and down, and then it sends a power, like a red beam out that then matches up, and it will eventually unlock the door. But yeah, it's very confusing if you don't, like, your first time through.
Yeah.
The
journal does mention the energy blasts.
Yeah.
So you know that part of it.
But it's not really something you come across in any other part of the game.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you get a little thing at the prompt saying, like, do a move to the side, do a sidewards power attack and a forward power attack and everything like that. And I was kind of hinting at it, but it was very subtle. In the diary, it says like he he got injured. He got sideswiped or something like that by one of the Drogo before they put him down.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't have enough strength because he just kept on weaker and weaker. So he couldn't do it because he couldn't do power attacks. So he couldn't do enough, strong enough attack to be able to get the red beam to
be able to get because it'll only do it during the power attack.
Yeah. It's a very powerful blade if you smith it up a lot and and you're taking enough perks in two-handed, especially if you're using like something like Ordinator or whatever. I don't remember if vanilla perks give you a sprinting two-handed attack, but if you can do like a double power attack while you're sprinting and then hitting with that blade, and you smith it up high enough, you can do some serious damage to some very powerful enemies. It's actually a really good blade.
I don't think I've used it a ton, to be honest.
I've never had either. I thought, well, now it's the first weapon I got. Actually, the first quest I did on Solstheim was one of the next ones we're going to talk about. But then I did this one, and it's powerful enough as you start. Of course, I was only like level 3 or something, or 4 when I went through this. So
oh wow.
I did not do Zakrisos. I have to go back and take care of him. I still haven't done that.
Yeah, I did take care of him. And there's a word wall there, which has, let's see, what does it have?
Dragon aspect.
Oh, that's one of the first aspect ones, right? Yeah. Of the 3 dragon aspect ones.
Yeah.
So that
I think the worst thing about that is when you get to that big chest just before he pops out, you open the chest and there's like 4 gold in it.
Yeah, there's like nothing in it.
And you like look up the chest and he just pops up out of the water. And you're like, you got me. That's the worst thing. He actually got you.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't sure. Because I got there, I thought, oh, I know I can't do this, so I just sprinted for the core, and it was fine. I went out, so.
Yeah, was it?
I'll take, as they call, a tactical displacement.
Yeah, I kept on running out of magicka, but luckily I had a staff of fireballs.
Oh, nice!
And, quite a few soul gems. Oh, that's what I went. I ran through the Shroud Hearth Barrow.
Mm-hmm.
I just went out and I bought an iron dagger with soul trap on it.
Oh, okay.
I was going through Shroud Hearth Barrow and I was on my own. I didn't have a companion this time. And I went through and I got into the final room and it adds all the new enemies and everything like that. So I got into the final room and the door's just behind me and I go, right, well, I'm going to get myself some souls here. And the first skeleton climbs out the first one and goes, whoo, with a disarm shout.
Oh my God.
You what?
Oh, that's amazing.
After killing them all, I spent good 10 minutes with a candlelight on, a torch, bloody night vision from Predator Vision mod. I looked all I couldn't find I just bought that, you piece of shit. That cost me like 380 gold.
Oh my God.
It's awesome. I hate that show. That is the worst.
Yeah. But I done all the rest of the enemies and I managed to get quite a few soul gems saved up. So that kept my fireball staff pretty charged to be able to get at Zakrosis, but I had to keep on running away from him. But now I've got his mask and
I would love somebody to just come. I don't want disarm to be nerfed in any way, except that when you're disarmed, it knocks it out of your favorites. So,
it does. Yeah.
If you manage to pick it right back up again, then you have to refavorite it, especially if you're using, a multi-button mouse like I do, and you're used to hitting 2 or whatever it is that weapon is on, and now you're screwed. So yeah, that's the worst part of disarm. Or having a small weapon that gets blown away from you, like Colin had. But,
that then disappears.
Usually they're just on the floor right next to you or something.
Skeletons at either side firing explosive arrows at me, so I kind of had to run and hide.
Throw Revenge of the Enemy's back in. I've used it before, and it is a lot of fun. It's just let's see. I think I can add that mid playthrough. I don't want to. I've been really careful with my mod list this time, but so I don't because I want to take this guy a little higher. So
yeah. So you don't want anything to go wrong.
Fun quest.
Yeah, of course, when you get to the end, you give him the journal you found, and it confirms the conspiracy, I believe.
Yeah, the East Empire Company didn't know what to make of it.
Yep.
So they just locked it down, buried it. Didn't want to deal with all the undead. I don't know why. I don't know why they went the archaeology way and stuff like sell all the stuff off. But
And then when you go back to, oh yeah, it is Glover Mallory. He does not keep the ancient Nordic pickaxe, which of course you will need for the Deathbrand quest. Anyway, so yeah, those two are kind of wrapped together: the quest for the pickaxe and then going down and getting the.
Yeah, and there is some stall room at the beginning of this.
Yes, there is. Yeah.
Small amount of it. Yeah, one sarcophagus or something like that
Yep.
with a skeleton behind the stall room that I thought was going to jump out at me the first time I did it.
Exactly.
But-
And also, when you leave the barrow, you go through a room with a bunch of reavers in it.
yeah,
Oh yeah, you do. That's right. Yeah. You come out by their Don't you come out by that tower on the
Big double tower, yeah.
yeah, what is that called? I got the map right here actually.
Blood Skull Barrow, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, it's Blood Skull Barrow. That's a good point. Yeah.
So there's a note on one of the tables that I thought was really funny.
Yeah.
It says, "Look, Marin, I'm not arguing with these towers are falling to pieces, but I think you're exaggerating about the planks falling."
Yes, I read that note and I was dying. Yeah. That was a
It's
good
one of the
note.
better ones. It's like all for the Blind's book with no text in it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. The what's his name? Yeah, that's a great
White River
book too.
Watch. Yep.
Oh my god. Yeah, so you come out at Blood Skull and head back. Obviously he doesn't take the pickaxe, and then from there, if you want, you can start Deathbrand since you now have the pickaxe and can do it.
Yeah, let's go to that. I want to hear all about Death. I haven't done Deathbrand in a long time, and I couldn't do it this time. Damn it, either, because I just could not find enough time to play up to the level I needed.
Well, there's I just closed out that window, but there's two ways to start it off. Can you start it off by reading the Deathbrand book?
Yeah.
Okay, that'll kick it off.
But still only if you're level 36, right? Or will you start it off and just not allow you to go any further?
I don't know, because I was past that.
Yeah, actually, I don't know because I was past that.
Because I found a copy of the book in Severn Manor.
Yeah.
When I took it over.
And then
no, sorry, I forgot I was muted. No, I've read the book. I'm collecting every book, seeing as I've got Legacy of the Dragon Ball.
Oh,
so
okay.
I've got every single book on my horse. He looks hilarious. But yeah, I've read that book like 2 or 3 times because there's about 50 of them on Soulstone, and it hasn't started the quest for me. And I've just hit like level 24, level 25, I think.
I wonder if it'll auto kick off because you've read it at 36, or if you'll have to read it again.
I think you probably have to read it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, to get the initial quest, or you can just go to the little island where where the pirates are digging up. I went there as well when we went to do the quest after this. You need to go not the quest after this, the quest after that, the last quest. You need to go in that general direction for that thing. And I ran past the little island, and no, they hadn't started digging yet. So I was like, all right, screw it.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, you know what was we? Yeah, because actually, when I was coming, I must not have been 36 when I was coming back from Blood Skull, unless that chest, the one south of there's a chest south of Blood Skull Barrow. But that might not be there until you do Hackney's Shoal. I don't know if the other ones open up until afterwards, but regardless, after you read Deathbrand, you can go to Hackney's Shoal. And there's, I think, like 3 reavers there, and they're digging up a chest. There's like a chest half buried, and you open it up, and you get your first piece of Deathbrand armor, and a map. And it has just the markings on the map, actually, just a general location. You don't get any markers. Let's see if I have it. but they're marked around. Yeah, I do have it actually. Yeah, so there's like actually they're on kind of the four corners of Solstheim almost.
Mm-hmm.
Hackneers is up in the northeast. You got the one outside of
Tel Mithrin.
right outside of Tel Mithrin, just to the west of it, I believe, down the hill. There's one south of Blood Skull that we just said, where you come out, just south of there, out on kind of the northern part of the peninsula. And then there's one north of Blood Skull, right by, what the hell is that called? It's a big Reekling thing.
Oh yeah.
Bristleback Cave. That's what it is. Just south of Bristleback Cave, there's one. So they're all on the coast, and then when you get there, there's usually a couple reavers and half-buried chests. So, and that's where you get your pieces of armor. I have not done where you can craft Stalrim yet, because the people in the Skull Village are all still in a circle of light. And every door is locked.
Yeah, you got to do the main quest for that.
Yeah.
The main and the
Dragonborn,
quest
yeah.
to do, but-
I'm going to do it eventually because it's one of the achievements on Xbox. So
That's what I'm worried has screwed my game now, because that's what I just did recently, and then I went down to Tel Mithrin to get Neloth to take me to Nachardak, and that's where things started to crash. So I'm wondering if maybe there's some kind of conflict that I've run into.
I wonder, yeah.
I don't know. I hope not. Anyway, after this, I'm going to back it up a save or two and see if I can
see what happens.
Yeah, it just keeps crashing randomly in that area. So
yeah, I do want to do this, but for the the weapons, the dual wield weapons.
Mm-hmm.
So when I get those for Janassa.
yeah, there's two swords, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, there is. That's right.
Yeah.
So you just got into the part where you were collecting all the treasure maps.
That's right.
got
Yeah,
all
you
the
get
different
all
pieces.
4 pieces, and then
Blood Scythe and Soul Render. Yeah,
that's it. Blood Scythe and so on. Then it prompts you to go to what the heck's it called? Let me pull up my map again.
Hackneer's Tomb.
Yeah, that's it.
that's where all the piles of gold are, right?
Yeah, where you have to. It's Gildenhall Barrow.
Yeah, where you meet Jake and yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He's just hanging, chilling out there.
Yeah, in Gildenhall Barrow, yeah. You go in there, and yes, there's all the gold all over the floor. And one of the worst things you can do is collect all that gold and all the things in there, go in and die, and then have to go back and collect all the gold again. So after you collect all the
Save
gold,
is for, Michael.
yes, yeah, please save after you collect the gold. I did not do that this time. I've done it in the past, and I've learned this lesson. But just for everybody else,
it's like, yes, go to all the corpses before you grab Dawnbreaker.
Yeah, exactly, that one too. Yeah, where you're teleported out of there before you can get your gold.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's you have to beat Hackneer and his crew, who are all ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of crew come out.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
got
not looking forward to it.
is it like 4 waves of them or something like that?
Yeah, and some of them are like just ordinary. Some of them are kind of weak and a few ordinary, but then there's like every once in a while there's just like a super tough one that's like,
Yes.
got perks and level 2, two-handed armor, two-handed like a great sword perks and everything like that, and can nearly one-shot you. It's an absolute nightmare doing that fight. When you just hit level, because it even says like suggested level 40. I would definitely wait until you're good and ready, and you got plenty of potions and armor and good followers. Or they're a good follower.
Yeah, I had I think I had the 2 follow. I had Arendora and what's his name and Goff with me, so I did. And I've been using I've also been casting a Golden Saint warrior.
Oh, nice.
So that's been following me too, and So that's been fun. So that I had a team in the barrow.
Yeah, was it? He goes in and out, doesn't he?
He doesn't
comes
stay
in.
through the whole battle. No, like the waves come and he kind of disappears, and then he kind of comes back. And like they appear. So there's like the stairs area, and then where you get the two blades and all that. Sometimes they appear left and right up there if you stay down low. If you're up high, sometimes they still appear up high, but they also appear down low in the lower part of that room. So it kind of mixes it up depending on where you're at. But yeah, there has to be almost pretty close to 4 waves of 3, I think, or pretty close to that anyway. So it's a pretty extensive battle in there.
Yeah. Well, and that reminds me, I keep forgetting because I can. I've got Imperious races, so with the Dummer, I can summon ancestors to fight for me. And as with the Dark Brotherhood, I can do the Spectral Assassin.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You get the Spectral Assassin. That's right.
Still the chance.
I never ask.
Yeah,
Lucian LeChance.
As long as you do your job, I don't want to know.
Is it his skeleton that's behind the hag's throne and also?
Yeah, where you pick up all the good gear.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so, because he gets killed in Oblivion, doesn't he?
Yeah, I believe so. That's where he.
Okay.
Yeah, that's part of that quest. Yeah.
I think he dies in the
So it's a
Dark
different
Brotherhood.
ancient assassin. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
The Oblivion. Yeah, Dark Brotherhood.
yeah. I use those gloves all the time.
Yeah. So if you get what did Blood Scythe and what did I give you? Soul Rend.
They go together as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blood Scythe is absorb a health, and
The other one's absorb magic.
Soldier is magic. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the Deathbrand armor. I think if you have it all together,
It's all stamina, isn't it?
Yeah, you get a buff on something.
if you have
all 4
3 or
pieces. Yeah.
Yeah.
The boots, the gauntlets, the helmet, and the armor.
Well, I think for either one of them to work, you have to be using both.
Oh, really? You have to have the swords and the armor? I think the armor, you just have to have the armor.
Yeah,
you mean the swords? You have to have
The 2 swords.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
To be honest with you, I really dislike the look of Stalrim armor anyway, so I just usually just sell it off.
I have it on a mannequin at my house.
Yeah,
Right.
or that.
Yeah, it's Severn Manor.
Yeah, I'm decorating right now with it.
Particularly, and the Deathbrand has a better helmet, which looks a little bit more like Ingol's helm, with the tall horns on it. But the heavy Stalrim helmet, I don't know who designed that, but they should be fired. The little glasses on there. What the heck? Is it Elton John or something? I don't know.
Oh man.
Nothing against Elton John, but even he wouldn't wear that in a concert. So, no, not a good look.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. The Deathbrand gauntlets. While dual wielding, your one-handed attacks do 10% more damage for each Deathbrand item you wear.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's it. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, 4 of and you can't disenchant that, obviously. But yeah, so that's what I was looking for. So if I can get her in full set of Deathbrand armor, with
the 2 swords,
with the 2 swords as well, she should be
pretty powerful.
Even nastier than she is now. What did she say? She like paints canvases and blood or something like that.
Yeah.
I will do great art for you or something.
Oh man.
Yeah, so I need to get those. That's her painting gear. Soul render and blood thing, whatever it is our brushes.
Yeah, I would like to finish. Well, I mean, you finished the quest, but I would like to finish it where I can start crafting Stalrim now. So I just gotta wait. I have to do I'm not gonna do the Dragonborn quest until I finish the main quest. So
you also need the ebony perk as well, don't you?
Yeah, you have to have ebony, and you have to.
Oh yeah, because you got 100 and thingy, don't you?
I'm like I think in and smithing I'm like 80.
Oh.
So I'm working towards 100. So I will have 100, and then I'll just, right now I'm going up the light side. I'll be switching to the dark side, to the heavy side.
Get the red lightsaber.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm in the high 80s on smithing too, but I do know smithing. It's just all from gathering iron to build those stupid, hinges and fittings and everything to build these houses.
Locks and hinges and
Because you
fittings.
can't just pay people to do it for you.
Yeah.
Yep. Actually, was it Gopher has a series, a Hearthfire series, where he done with his new character, where he went and built all the house, and he got a few things wrong because he paid his steward to to furnish all the rooms, and then he went and built everything himself anyway.
Oh God.
Yeah, he was. He thought that she added like special stuff, and that's what he was paying for.
Yeah,
So
I've done that. Yeah.
Oh man.
And then Then she kept on adding stuff that he didn't want, like the mounted head beasts and all of that. Every time he came back into the house, they just started appearing everywhere. You go, I didn't build
Oh
that.
God.
Yeah, or nothing will happen at all if you're not. Yeah, it's buggy. But yes, if you pay your steward, you have to wait. The stuff does not appear immediately. You have to.
Yeah, it takes time. Yeah.
Yeah, it can take a long time actually to slowly populate with stuff.
He was role playing it because he has a lot of stuff because he doesn't do any crafting because he's a gentleman and that's how he's playing it. So he has loads of mods where he pays people to improve his armor. He pays people to enchant his armor.
Those are great mods, by the way. If any of you guys haven't used them, Honed Metal and a couple others, those are excellent. They really are.
But he had to do all the building himself, so he was role playing it as in, right, this is what we need to do, Inigo. And Inigo was doing all the building for him.
Does he? I haven't watched all of his. Does he have Lucian in the Hearthfire as well? I know he's got him now in his episode or season 4 or whatever it is. He's using Lucian as well as Inigo.
Oh, what, the Dark Brotherhood assassin?
No. There's a new follower mod, very extensive, well voiced follower mod called Lucian. Yeah.
I haven't been watching. I was watching all the series and then I stopped. And then I've just picked it back up again, and I'm halfway through it. I think he's halfway through the Dark Brotherhood quest.
Okay, yeah, he picks up Lucian at some point. Lucian's a bard, so.
Well, so is Inigo. Inigo is a bard as well. He does singing, and it's fantastic.
It's sometimes very funny too.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I was watching it. I was going to have to, because I started a playthrough with Inigo, and it just kind of fizzled.
Yeah.
Not because of Inigo. I think it was just like the character that I was playing. I just couldn't get 100% invested in.
Yeah.
But watching him with Gopher is great.
Yeah. Everybody knows Gopher loves the Khajiit followers, so yeah. I've been doing kicking off a lot of interesting NPCs quests in this one. So stuff that I've never actually done before. There's one with the face sculptor that I'd never done. That I'm sort of halfway through now, and a couple other short little quests. So I'm looking forward to finishing those out too.
Just a heads up, this was an extremely long episode, so I'm going to break it up in 2 parts, and the rest of the quest, starting with Thirst Call, will be picked up next week. See you then.